In today's video, I'm going to be discussing record household wealth that was just reported in the United States, as well as record debt that we also have in this country. I have all the details and the massive numbers here for you in the video. Let's get into it and discuss what's going on. First off, thanks so much for liking and sharing this video with those buttons right down below. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, if you're new here or haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel as well with the big subscribe button down below. Again, thank you so much. All of it is 100% free to do so. Always has been and always will be. All right, thanks again. Really appreciate your support. Let's get into it and talk about these massive numbers. And I'll give you a little hint here. We're not talking about thousands. We're not talking about millions. We're not talking about billions. We're talking about trillions and trillions of dollars here in this country. But actually what's really weird about it is that we continue to see from all these reports and like everybody that you talk to and everybody you hear about and even your own personal situation, the vast majority of people have no money right now. How does that work? How do we have record household wealth in this country, but at the same time, we also have no money? Like nobody has any money right now, right? Seems kind of odd, but I want to break it all down for you. And again, I will give you the details of where all of this wealth is hiding, because it is kind of like hiding based on where these statistics are actually showing that the money is actually being held right now. But anyway, this is also interesting as well, because here's the thing. Household wealth has gone up dramatically just in the last quarter, as well as the last handful of years here. We've seen massive increases in household wealth. But anyway, I'll break it all down for you. All right, so the most recent reports are coming in of last quarter, okay? So this is last quarter's household wealth. It's not as of today, it's just as of the last quarter. But they're finding now that household wealth across the entire United States is sitting at $161 trillion. Not 161 million or billion, trillion. That's a crazy amount of money, right? That is like more money than we like ever see with anything else that's out there right now. There's a lot of things that are in the trillions, but this is household wealth and it is $161 trillion. That's craziness right there, right? But anyway, get this. So household wealth has actually increased by $40 trillion just since the year 2020. So, I mean, what is that? 4 years, 4.5 years, something like that. Just since then, household wealth has increased by $40 trillion. Okay? Now, here's what's interesting. Also, adjusting for inflation during that same amount of time, household wealth has gone up by $19 trillion. So, basically, we lost $21 trillion to inflation during that amount of time. If that doesn't show you the power of inflation, then I guess I don't really know what does, right? That's craziness. 21 trillion just evaporated out of thin air because of inflation. Massive information there. But now, get this as well. Just in the last quarter alone, so not on a yearly basis, just in the last one quarter, we've seen our household wealth increase by 5.12%. Not percent, $5.12 trillion just in the last quarter alone. It's a lot of money just in a single quarter alone, over $5 trillion. But where's all this money hiding? Because it seems like nobody has any right now, right? But here's what they found is that just under 4 trillion of that nearly, the $5.12 trillion gain in household wealth, just under 4 trillion of that was actually from corporate equities. In other words, that's just a fancy way of saying stocks. It's in stocks, okay? That's where nearly 4 trillion of that came from. And the other nearly 1 trillion, just a little under 1 trillion, came from increases in real estate, which is also interesting because wait, didn't house prices come down a little bit last quarter? They actually didn't. They're stabilizing. Maybe they've come down a little bit, but the point is they're still rising a little bit and they're still holding very strong. So as a result of real estate increases, then yes, we're still seeing about $1 trillion of gain just in the last quarter alone in household wealth from housing real estate prices, right? That's crazy. However, now let's flip this around and talk about the record debt we also have in this country. As of right now, and again, last quarter, most recent information that's been released, we collectively have a couple different debt figures that I want to talk about. As consumer debt, we have $19.98 trillion in consumer debt. Okay, that's consumer debt across the board. That's mortgages, auto loans, student loans. It could be credit card debt, personal lines of credit, whatever it happens to be. This is all wrapped up in consumer debt. So basically, let's just call it $18 trillion in consumer debt. It's just under that, 17.98. So it's basically $18 trillion in consumer debt. It's a lot of debt that we have collectively across the entire country, okay? Now, federal debt, that's something that's totally different. That is not consumer debt. That's federal debt, as in government debt. They're sitting at just under $35 trillion in government debt as well. So we're talking a lot of money here, right? So anyway, these are some very interesting numbers, and again, just want to share with you really quickly, because when I see reports like this talking about household wealth or income or average income or retirement income or things like this, I like to dig into the details about it, because I want to know personally, I want to know what is going on across the entire country. And if this is the case, if everybody has record amounts of, debt, number one, but if we have records amounts of household wealth, how? Where is this money being stored? Where is this money? Because the vast majority of people are not seeing this in their everyday purchasing power and in their bank accounts and things like this. But here's what else is interesting about it. The top 1% of, income earners, the top 1% of wealthy people across not only the country here, but also globally as well, hold about 90% of the wealth. So the top 1% hold 90% of the wealth. So there you go. It doesn't take that many people to really break it all down and to hold the vast majority of that. So that really shows that basically the 99% are really, really struggling, and then top 1% basically are holding the majority of the wealth that's out there. So again, that kind of breaks it down to give us a better idea. So that's not here just in the United States. That's everywhere. If you look at everything globally, everywhere, all countries, all people collectively across the entire globe, that's basically the statistic everywhere. So it's not like some unique figure just for the United States. It's everywhere. Anyway, kind of makes sense, right? But anyway, I want to bring this to your attention really quickly. I find this to be very fascinating. I like to look at numbers and statistics like this because I want to see the big picture. I want to see what is going on with the big picture, what is going on with household debt and wealth and things like this. And not only that, but where's the money? Where is it? It's in stocks mostly. So big picture being is that, hey, if we see a massive stock market crash, a big stock market correction, we're going to see that at some point. When is it going to be? I don't know. Probably, who knows when. But at some point it will happen. It always happens. It cannot go up forever. That's not really how it works. But when we do this, when we do see this happen at some point, we're going to see a massive, massive drop in household wealth as well, because of all this money being held in equities, right? So anyway, we can talk about that in a separate video. I want to bring this information to your attention right away. So does that kind of make sense? I'd love to hear your comments down below. What do you think of these numbers and statistics? Are you shocked? Are you surprised? I'm going to be honest with you. The 161 trillion in household wealth, that seems like a very big number. That's higher than I thought it was going to be. I'm just being real with you, okay? I did not think it was going to be that high. But that's just what they're telling us, and that's just what we're seeing. So anyway, I'd love to hear your comments down below if you want to share. If not, that's totally fine too. Otherwise, make sure to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, all of which down below. Totally free to do so. Leave a comment, question, feedback, again, down below. Otherwise, check out the other thousands of videos here on the channel, the thousands in the video library, the ones I've hand-selected for you down below in the description at the top of the comment section. And right now, popping up on your screen, you'll see some videos there as well. Enjoy your day. Take care. Have a good one. And I'll catch you again later in the next video. So take your selection now.